All right, guys. Well, I'm back today with a brand new scope offering from Monstrum Tactical, the Monstrum Beast 3-18 by 50 first focal plane optic with zero stop, illuminated reticle, and a ton of really nice specs and features. Monstrum continues to innovate and push the limits, especially of what can be done considering high value and budget-minded people, and they've really killed it with this optic because Monstrum continues to innovate and really come up with some awesome stuff and very good glass clarity and user interface. Now, we're going to be talking about the specs and features of this optic. We're also going to be talking about the reticle and what comes in the box. But before we do, I want to give a huge shout out to Monstrum for sending this out, as well as creating a discount code specifically for you guys to save money. More about that in a second. But I also want to give a huge shout out to AAC for providing the ammo to help make this video. Without AAC's support, it'd be really difficult to continue to produce reviews like this. Now, I actually got to take this out to about 150 yards to do a little testing with the scope, and I was running the 55 grain out of the 16-inch Daniel, and paired with the Monstrum Beast, it felt like cheating. It was a tack driver. So again, a huge shout out to AAC, but back into what comes in the box with the Monstrum Beast. You get the optic itself and the included throw lever that's already bolted on, which is very nice. It also comes with a little goodie pack. You get all the tools you need, some extra batteries, an instruction manual, and a set of scope rings, which are really nice, especially for the price point. Now, speaking of the price point, the entire package for either the CM6 MOA reticle system or the MM6 mil reticle system is $229, but I've got an exclusive discount code specifically for my viewers to save you about $50 off, getting the price down to a little bit closer to $180. These guys also offer free shipping on orders over $100, so you're going to get free shipping, and for $180, this thing really kills it. Now, is it going to be the best scope on the market? Well, no, there's obviously going to be better scopes out there than this, but it's going to be hard-pressed to find the first focal plane 3-18 anywhere near this for that $180 price point. Now, these are also pre-tariff prices because, like a lot of other high-value scopes, the prices may go up if the tariffs stick. So if you jump on these now, you're going to save a lot of money for what could potentially be some price increases in the future, getting this one in before those take effect, and if they take effect. Now, the cool thing about this optic is it runs on a 30mm tube with a 50mm objective lens, and it's got some super nice turrets. Now, this particular one actually has a zero stop built in, and the turrets are very wide. Audible and tactile clicks. They feel really good. The side one is actually a locking turret, and you can hear those clicks. These clicks feel like they're on a more premium optic, and the turrets themselves feel like they're on like a $400 or $500 optic. On the sides, you do get that side parallax adjustment, which is incredibly nice. You get that parallax dialed in. And the cool thing about this particular one is it goes all the way down to 20 yards for the parallax, which for rimfire shooters is very nice. If you were to drop this on a precision rimfire, a lot of times parallaxes don't go past 50, but you may want to adjust them past 50 if you're shooting in a little bit close, especially for those rimfire competitions or doing some varmint hunting, and they may be a little bit closer than 50. So adjusting that parallax is going to be key to get the proper shot placement. So another nice touch right there. Illuminated reticle, it's going to be dusk and twilight bright, but it's also going to work out great because you have on and off positions inside the illumination. Moving on to the zoom knob itself, it's incredibly smooth but not overly loose. As you can see in the intro, it's super easy to utilize. It doesn't have like a long stick coming out that'll get caught on things. It's very flush, but it's intuitive. It works. And if you want to take it off, the texturing on the actual zoom knob itself is good. Then you have the adjustable diopter on the back to get everything dialed in for your proper eye relief. Now, this guy right here has some incredibly clear glass, and they are using good quality glass in their optics, especially at the price point. Now, if you want a more in-depth look at the reticle systems, you're going to be able to find some more detailed images, but I've got this guy right here, and paired with that ED glass or extra low dispersion glass, you are going to reduce chromatic abrasions, resulting in a better contrast and a sharper image. It's just really good. It's hard to explain how clear that ED glass is over some other traditional glass. Now, these are the two reticle systems, and they're very similar. Now, I love this because you get a ton of information, but it's not bullet specific, meaning it's not calibrated to a 5.56 or a 300 blackout. It's MOA and mil, so it can be calibrated for whatever you want. But it also gives you ranging tools above the reticle, which is incredibly convenient. convenient. The center circle crosshairs are illuminated. You have larger leader lines, like a duplex leader lines leading into it, and a Christmas tree style reticle to give you a ton of information for whatever you need. I personally like the MOA, but MOA to mil, they're about the same. You're going to see some slight differences. It really just depends on what you like. Now, set up on top of a flat top AR, especially a 223 5.56, this thing is a little varmint getter. I mean, you can dial it in, you can shoot it to a distance. You've got clear glass, illuminated reticle for varmint hunting, maybe at dusk or twilight, and especially with the 3-18 zoom. At the 3 power setting, you have a very wide field of view. That way you can track a hog or a coyote across the field. And then you can zoom it into that 18 power to get a really long distance shot. Now, this is also built really well, and the fit and finish is absolutely spectacular across the board. Again, especially at this price point. Made out of 6061 aluminum, you know it's going to be pretty darn good. The eye relief on this optic is also fairly nice, and you can see with this offset mount, it mates up perfectly. 3.5 to 4 inches in eye relief. And then you got that field of view, which we talked about a little bit earlier, being really good. At the 3 power setting, you're looking at about 40 feet and then about 6.7 feet all the way at the 18 power setting. So overall, love this optic, especially at the price point. Now, again, there are some subtle things I would like improved on this optic. Like, I personally like a chevron aiming point on my optics, but this one gets fine enough to where it works out great with no issues, but I always like to see a chevron aiming point. And honestly, that's kind of about it. Maybe having an offset mount included in the box would be nice for those AR guys, but a lot of times you're going to be throwing this on a bolt gun, so the scope rings are fine, and it's pretty darn good. I like it. I really do, and I think this is a great step in the right direction for Monstrum, keeping the price under $200 after my discount, but getting you a solid optic that can do pretty much everything from about 25 yards out to 800 yards, depending on what you put it on. Thanks for watching, guys. All of the information will be in the description below. Have a good one.